Hi Algebra 2 friends, welcome to our last video set of Semester 1. This week we are going to be focusing on the fundamental theorem of algebra. So what you are asked to do is to fill out this table. Notice you have a few different givens, so you'll have to work in a few different directions. So you're going to use all of the things that we learned this quarter about multiplying polynomials, factoring, dividing, solving quadratics, and you'll use those skills to complete the table. So there are no brand new concepts this week. Now we will be applying them in a little bit of a different way. So some of these you might get a little bit stuck on, which is the purpose of these videos. So I can show you some tricks using some examples. So here's the first one I want to go through, is how do we go from roots to factored form to standard form? Okay, well, we know that the roots of a polynomial or a quadratic, we solve those when we put the function equal to 0. And remember, the zeros were always the opposite of what we saw in the parentheses. So I can take these three values and I am going to put the opposite of those values in parentheses with x. So I'll have an x plus 1, and then I'll have an x minus 2/3, and then I'll have an x minus 4. Okay, so now if I were to solve each of these, I would get the values above. So now I just took my roots and I wrote it in factored form. Now I need to go to standard form. Well, that just means I have to multiply it out. Now we haven't done much of this because this is a skill from Algebra 1, but we'll do this here to review. So you want to multiply two of your binomials together. What I'm going to do is, and it doesn't matter which two you choose to multiply together first, so I'm going to go ahead and multiply these two together so I can avoid the fraction until the very end. So I'm going to multiply x plus 1 times x plus 4. This is where you could use, x minus 4, that dreaded acronym FOIL. If you ever had Mr. Martin, you'll know you'll never want to use that word in his class. Remember, FOIL stands for first, outside, inside, last. It's a way for us to remember to distribute everything when we're multiplying two binomials. But we can also just distribute the x to both terms and the 1 to both terms. Okay, you don't need FOIL to remember that. Okay, so x times x is x squared, and then I have a negative 4x. 1 times x is x. 1 times negative 4 is negative 4. I am now going to combine these like terms right here, and I have an x squared. Negative 4 plus 1 is negative 3x minus 4. Now I need to incorporate this other binomial, so I am going to multiply my trinomial by x minus 2/3. Once I'm done distributing that and simplifying it, I have then reached my standard form. I'm going to switch colors. So first I'm going to distribute the x to everything, and then after that I'll distribute the negative 2/3. Adjust my screen. So I'll have an x cubed, a minus 3x squared, negative 4x. So there we go. Now I'm going to distribute this negative 2/3. So I have a negative 2/3 x squared. And then a negative times a negative is positive. 3 times 2/3 is 6 over 3, which is actually 2. So I'll have a 2x. A negative times a negative is a positive. 4 times 2/3, so 4 times 2 is 8. 8 over 3. Now I'm going to look for like terms and combine them. I see 2 squared terms, and then I also see 2x terms. So I'll have to combine those. So really when I'm dealing with fractions, the only painful part is going to be right here, combining my x squared terms. And it's not even that bad. All right, x cubed. Negative 3x minus 2/3. I'm going to come off to the side here. negative 3 minus 2/3. So that would be negative 3 and 2/3. I'm going to try to stick with an improper fraction here. So remember to do that, we multiply our whole number in our denominator, which is 9, add the numerator, which is 11. Negative 11/3 over x squared. And then negative 4 plus 2 would be a negative 2x plus 8/3. And this is the standard form. Notice when it's in standard form, we also have our exponents in decreasing order, 3, 2, 1, 0. All right, I'm going to separate this video from the next one because they deal with two pretty separate topics. But notice this roots to factored form to standard form is what you'll need to do at the bottom of that table that you fill in. It didn't quite fit on the screen, but that's those are the steps to get you there.